Seen that Vine I tweet, right?
Oh, and welcome to the show. We have seen your Vine. If you're watching this, you will see that my headset is very jacked up. That's how we're rolling today. It's one of those days. It's Monday. I'm putting on this hat to maybe fix my hair. This is the Total MLS Roundtable, if you didn't know. I'm Dustin Richardson. Everyone on this roundtable is losers this week, except Tyler. His team didn't play. So he's up there for a winner. Rob's team lost to their Flower Cup rivals. We'll get to that. Rob yelled at obscenities at the referee. We'll also get to that. Philip's team lost again. Well, you tied the first game.
Yeah.
Sit bottom of the table, I believe. So that's
Yeah,
not too good.
Yeah, didn't need to mention that, unfortunately.
Yeah, well.
No, they're right there with us.
Banter off pretty early.
Hashtag banter is the name of this show.
No, that's what I call bands.
Mark's team lost at home to a team that many people thought was one of the worst in the league.
With 10 players.
Wando reverting to his pre-Belgium days and just clinical in front of goal all of a sudden. And then Kevin's San Antonio Scorpions lost to a USL side, which might be worse than all that, and got crushed.
Up. I hate you.
Look at my shirt, though. See?
Oh, look at that. Rep it. I like that.
Representing.
It's okay. It's okay. It's preseason.
I'm finishing off the Central Texas vibe with my Texas State Bobcats hat. This is for all of you non-Texans.
Which is everybody.
Sorry for you. So let's start before we get into the games with some expansion news. Speaking of banter that everyone loves to discuss, it looks like the league decided to just nip all the Minnesota rumors in the butt. They put out a statement basically saying what we all thought. They're in negotiations, or whatever they called it.
Close negotiations.
Yeah,
I feel like they had to.
I mean, they might as well. Everything was out there.
Right. What do they have to lose?
I guess they're taking Minnesota to dinner now, trying to woo them and finish off the expansion deal.
Sliding right on into home plate.
Sliding into their DMs. You think they're direct messaging Minnesota United?
DM me your address.
Emoticons.
You up?
They're using
Hey, Minnesota, you up? Are you calling Minnesota United a booty call?
I mean, they can't get anything from Miami, so.
Poor Bex. I'm looking at myself as I speak, and I do look ridiculous. I apologize to everyone.
Well, you're not as ridiculous as David Beckham, so there's that.
That is true.
And it seems like with every, speaking of Beckham, it seems like with every expansion discussion, they have to say, well, things are still going okay in Miami. We're still waiting. It's like, okay, well, you said that, a year ago? You said that 15 months ago. You said that the All-Star game.
At some point, he's got to cut ties with that. It looks bad.
It seems like Sacramento's just waiting, but for some reason they're holding on to the Beckham dream. I don't know. Maybe
probably because they promised him a franchise and give it to him as a part of coming to MLS. Hey, if you sign on, we'll give you a franchise at a discount.
Well, was it more than just I thought it was just in the contract as well, like not a.
Which
he got it.
That's like legality, right?
He got it for what, like $25 million?
Yeah, something like that. Which is a steal.
Yeah, because
now
everyone, you're getting 9 figures now for teams.
And he's finding investors, so it's not like all 25 mil is coming from him.
Yeah, he's got that Clowra guy. That's like the CEO of Sprint. That's got like billions of dollars. So he's probably not ponying up too much. He apparently has Jay-Z giving him $100 million. If you listen to the Miami people. But
which I am. I mean, because they are so credible.
Well, Jay-Z does love him some soccer, so why not just drop $100 million?
Pocket change.
He makes that in a day from his headphones. Oh wait, that's Dr. Dre. My bad.
You could use some of
Yeah, I
those.
was about to say you could get some.
Listen, Beats by Dre, if you're,
Sponsorship.
if you're listening, sponsorship. Give me
Yeah.
some headphones so I don't have to wear this stupid thing on my face.
Yep, but they sold to Apple, so.
Oh,
So the eye retainer is actually what they're looking for. Eye headgear.
This is the eye headgear, the prototype. For it's coming out with the Apple Watch. It's part of the new updates. It'll be available to the public soon. But yeah,
If you had Google Glass, you would look like a fucking spaz.
dude, well, I'm trying to get ready for the future here with expansion. We're going to be a global league by 2020, best league in the world. And
That's
now
in 20,000 years.
I think the big I think everyone knew Minnesota was coming down the pipeline, but I think the big news was probably Garber actually admitting that they're going to look into expanding past 24.
Yeah.
Which a lot of us had probably thought that, but them actually coming out and saying it's probably a given if they're even mentioning it. And they're getting $100 million plus for franchises. They're going to be expanded to 40, 45 if they could.
What's the likelihood of the expansion fee increasing?
I would think it would keep going up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, what gets
Go
me
ahead.
every time he talks about expansion, they always talk about Las Vegas still. You just sent them a letter saying you're not going to be an expansion machine until after
Allegedly,
2018.
Kevin. Allegedly.
Yeah,
They don't work in
Yeah.
absolutes here. Come on.
nobody confirmed whether or not that was.
They have that shroud of. Oh, it might
No,
not
I
have been.
thought
they did send the mayor
letter.
a letter the day before Valentine's Day. It said,
MLS
"It's not you.
Soccer talked
It's not
about
you.
it.
It's us." Sorry, we have to do this to you, and a break up in a letter.
I think it's because the
They
news.
texted him. They DM'd Las Vegas and said, "Listen, I'm unfollowing you. It's over."
I think
You got
the
Minnesota now.
NHL news, because they're sucking at their ticket drives there too. So
Yeah.
Garber's probably trying to keep his options open.
I think all the leagues have this pipe dream of Vegas being a city for expansion, but it's just not. It's not working.
I think they're all waiting for the one league to do it first, and then they're all fall because they want to see if it falls on its face.
Yeah, but Vegas is good for like events. They have NASCAR, they have boxing, they have like the NBA All-Star Game's been there, but they're not.
They capitalize on tourism.
Yeah, they're not gonna. Are they gonna sustain an MLS season of 19 home games or whatever we play now? I doubt it.
I think if we can make it work in Columbus, we can make it work in Las Vegas.
Columbus is the first MLS team. Did you not see their tifo?
Sorry.
First team in MLS. Read the tifo.
Yeah, I saw that. I was kind of laughing a little bit.
You're just mad you guys didn't make that tifo.
No, because there were teams that were all in there. It wasn't like one team came first.
You guys were first in alphabetical order, though,
I
right?
guess technically we could all just put MLS's logo. MLS, the first MLS team.
You guys were first in alphabetical order. You take it.
Yeah, well.
So if Minnesota's going to be 23, 24 is probably Miami/Sacramento. And then who else do you guys see? And where do you see the league stopping?
If
Go to 40.
If you do Sacramento and Miami as 23 and 24.
Minnesota will be 25.
No, I thought they would be.
Atlanta's 21. LA's 22. Minnesota's 23.
Yeah, sorry. I'd say Sacramento gets in before Miami. And then Miami, San Antonio, and Indy.
Yeah, Indy's pushing that stadium.
I think they're going to get it. It's going to be a killer stadium.
If they get it, I think they will too. They have Peter Wilt behind all that. Indy 11, they know what they're doing.
I'd love to see St. Louis as well, to be honest.
I think St. Louis. I think St. Louis has a groundswell going. They just need the money.
Yeah, they don't have somebody willing to invest. Like there's a soccer culture there, obviously. Like they'll go see any of the international games that are played there, but there's just nobody. Everybody that's in St. Louis now with money is trying to get out of St. Louis. So
yeah. St. Louis is a very Philadelphia Union thing going on. They have the fans. They just need somebody to invest.
Yeah, they don't have that. They don't have that big investor to come in and take on the lump sum of everything.
Well, they have a USL team now, don't they? They're playing their first game. So I mean, maybe after a couple years, the investors see good crowds there.
I think that's probably the goal. Yeah, to show. I mean, the USL team to show out, and that's kind of what Orlando did. By moving to Orlando, they wanted to prove that they had a good market, and Sacramento's done the same thing. So I just saw the Minnesota MLS. They have like a Twitter group. They're retweeting people about Minnesota MLS getting a second Minnesota team for the Vikings ownership group, making a great derby. Slow down, boys.
No way.
Minnesota 2 is not happening. New York 2, yes. LA 2, yes. Slow down. You're just now getting in one. 2 Minnesota teams. Sheesh. But you guys think, what, 28, 30, maybe?
I'd say 30 to 32. Operate kind of similar to the other American sports. Like,
NBA, NFL type.
Yeah, since Garber's background, I would say 32.
Yeah, he's from the NFL, so they have, 32 teams?
And then ultimately, like Grant Wall hinted at, maybe promotion.
Don't say it. Don't say it.
Beetlejuice.
Somehow Ted will hack this stream and jump on.
Ted will break into this roundtable.
And we'll get like one of those, like in Independence Day when the president breaks into all the feeds. Ted's just going to show up in a suit.
I mean, if you think about it, that's actually a way of getting it, unlike Ted just trolling everyone on Twitter and yelling at people. That's actually some productive ways of getting at it. The one thing you have to worry about is the ownership groups.
Yeah, nobody's going to want to pay.
They're going to pay $100 million and then be in Division II next year? Probably not.
But I think if everybody shares the TV revenue,
Right.
that'll certainly help.
And having the
Don't
MLS.
suck. Then it's not an issue. Don't suck.
Well, having MLS in the title, I mean, everybody knows that MLS is Division One. Having that in the title, MLS 2, I mean, I don't know, I feel like people would be more willing to come out than just a Division 2 or Division 3 team now.
It feels like they're almost going to absorb USL and bring up St. Louis or.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. They get up to 28 and then just develop USL and there's the 40.
Yeah, because then you just get rid of your Sounders 2 and Whitecaps 2 and all those and just move them back to whatever.
Those have to go to a reserve league. They can't be in a Division 2 league. I mean,
they dissolved the reserve league.
No, I know, but those, I think, going forward, if USL,
they'd bring it back. Yeah.
Here's a thought. So for instance, in Spain, like Barcelona has a Barcelona B team, and then Real Madrid has Real Madrid
Castilla or something. Yeah.
Those teams can't. I guess technically they could be promoted, but those
they can't get. Yeah, they can be. They can earn promotion, but they can't go up.
Yeah, they can't actually go up.
Right.
They cannot be in the same league.
So I could see something like that happening where, but
assuming there's pro rel.
But how does that team gain any support, though? That's the only thing.
It's the same as
like Sounders 2 and
it's just Barcelona fans feeding the youngsters.
Yeah, it's just their young players, their academy.
500 people come out to see them. That's it.
Yeah.
It's the perfect soccer
Real Madrid
triangle.
played Barcelona B a couple of times, so it gives you a chance to see the greats early on.
Liverpool B, Southampton. It's actually ahead of
Oh,
them.
snap. Oh.
Oh, snaps. Sorry.
Well, I'm actually looking at the table. Barcelona be in 21st out of 22 teams.
Well,
Yeah,
They get
and
relegated.
Real Madrid's team went down a division this last season.
I think a few years ago, Barca's team won promotion, but they couldn't. I want to say like they got it, but then they couldn't go up.
They were close to the top. I don't know if they won.
Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, you could see something like that. But again, we're assuming that the PR thing comes.
You could also have them just selling off the team, just selling off that place in line to someone else if you're going to do that. You make a few bucks.
Yeah, you could. Yeah, I mean, it depends. If you absorb USL, you'd probably have to come up with another league to be Division II in the U.S. soccer pyramid. Like Kevin, you were saying.
Assuming NASL doesn't go anywhere.
Yeah, you were saying NASL, they have to keep their D2 status. They have to get to at least 12 teams.
Yeah. That by year 6, they have to have 12 teams, and they have to have teams in 3 time zones, including the Pacific time zone. And
Which they don't have either.
Right. If we lose Minnesota, that brings us down to 10 teams. Plus, we have to get somebody in the Pacific time zone, so we have to replace 2 teams. And there's like a whole waiver thing. You can get a waiver for a year, but I don't know how many. We've already gotten a waiver or 2, and I don't know how many U.S. Soccer will allow or whatever.
Kim Kardashian was gonna get a team in LA, so maybe that'll save the day. But the Cosmos will save everything.
Yeah, just like the last time.
The Cosmos are going to end up being soccer's version of the Harlem Globetrotters pretty soon.
They're just gonna
Just
fly
like the
around
last
the world barnstorming. The best was when they played Paul Scholes. Was it Scholes' testimonial? When they didn't even have a team yet, like they didn't have players yet. That was awesome. Like, hey, the New York Cosmos. Wait, we don't have players. Oh, just bring some guys over.
But is it just me, or has there been a secondary effect with MLS partnering with USL, and they're doing it just to starve NASL to death?
There could, yeah.
They're definitely.
They're putting reform NASL and just completely just ignoring NASL and let them just die.
I think
and
the rebirth
then
of
you
the
just develop the 2 leagues.
The rebirth of the Cosmos really pissed them off.
That's what everybody in NASL thinks. And also, like, there was the 2 United fans, a podcast from Minnesota. They interviewed Karthik Krishnakar or something from Florida. He used to be the communications guy for NASL. And he was saying that MLS came to NASL with the same agreement that they now have with USL about inserting reserve teams basically into the NASL. And we said no, because we didn't want that. And so, everything that NASL said publicly, I wouldn't be shocked that they said no.
Yeah, they feel like they could compete with MLS, which is a good thing and also could ultimately be their downfall.
Yeah.
It's ambitious, but
yeah,
you have to have a TV deal that can rival what MLS has, and if it's not there.
Well, I think even if they get just a TV deal that's not, I mean, it doesn't have to be anything close to what MLS has, but it could be just a TV deal.
Yeah,
could really solidify them.
Even if they could get on like the Big Ten network or something.
Yeah, I mean, literally anything could at least solidify them as D2, and then they'd be set for a little while. Then they can just kind of do their own thing. But
yeah, I think they're shooting very high. Like you said, they're being ambitious, but they're also kind of trying to shoot a little too high.
Yeah, and they're pretty slow right now too.
Yeah, they've had a number of franchises like the Virginia team and
Calvary and
the Oklahoma team.
Yeah,
they couldn't even get off the ground. So Yeah.
Which,
yeah.
I mean, I can understand after those two
Yeah,
teams,
right.
like, slowing it down and making sure you really have your ducks in a row before you announce, but it's been 2 years since those two announcements, so, and it's coming up on 2016 when we need to have those other teams to stay D2. You gotta say something. You gotta get something out there.
We'll put Total MLS SC in to the league. We've already discussed this before. We have a pretty solid team. Kyle Martino is going to join the squad as our designated player. So
Earn our DP. We can pay him as
Oh,
much
yeah.
as we want.
true. We can pay him Raul money.
We can pay him our makeup budget.
Here's our makeup budget. It's in this can right here. Collecting.
Diet Sunkiss.
Sunkiss 10.
Oh,
Watching my girlish figure.
Hey, that's product placement. That's sponsorship money.
There it is. Sorry. This unnamed brand of orange soda. We
in
will
a
not
gray can.
in a gray can. It's moon kissed. So, all right. So that's kind of our thoughts on expansion, and I think within the next, Garber had said 45 to 60 days, and I think that Minnesota's probably coming up within the month, and then hopefully there's a resolution to Miami, because Sacramento keeps putting out statements, even today. They're hashtag built for MLS, so.
Well, I hate that Minnesota's coming up, to be honest. I like the team. I like the way they run. I like a lot about them. But I also am a member of the supporters group, so for me it's kind of shitty because I can't support the two teams.
And you
Well-
also can't support the one team because you don't live anywhere near Minnesota.
You can maybe fly there a few times.
Is that how support works, Mark? I thought
Yes.
Well, what really sucks
Seattle
I've
invented
been
support.
supporting a team since I was like 4.
Seattle,
You know,
Seattle
I don't know.
Seattle invented supporters culture and everything about it. So just deal with it. Okay.
What really sucks about the whole thing is that with teams having aspirations to go up to D1 MLS, that leaves the lower divisions, whether it's USL or NASL, losing a team. And so, I mean, that sucks for the pyramid, if you will. You know, it's just...
We could have sent Chivas down, but
No,
one of them.
maybe if MLS really wants to kill NASL, pick up Indianapolis. That'll
That's
knock it
their
down
goal.
That'll knock it down by another team, and then NASL will really be up the creek.
Wait, how about San Antonio first?
Yeah, I
Okay.
was wondering if you were going to work that in. I was wondering if you were going to throw that out and do our...
Well, when I thought he was going to say San Antonio, and then I heard Indianapolis. I was like,
Well, they
Come
do say they want Midwest teams, so.
well, we do have a...
That's Midwest Texas.
Hey, if
Like the middle of Texas.
California gets 4 teams before Texas gets 3, something's wrong there.
Preach, brother.
Ooh,
The Great Republic of Texas needs probably like 8 teams.
hot takes. Handle with care. Hot
El
takes.
Paso needs a
Get 'em
team.
here.
All the Bants.
Lubbock needs a team.
Bam, bam, bam.
Texas
Laredo
might,
needs a team.
Texas might
Brownsville.
just break off TMLS, Texas Major League Soccer. We're just gonna have like a 12-team league.
I thought you guys were going to secede anyway. Who gives a crap? All this is moot.
Listen, we used to be our own nation. Don't make us do it again.
You want to
We'll probably do it.
You want a spot in Champions League too?
Yes,
Yeah, we'll get it.
I mean,
UEFA Champions League.
I mean, if,
We want their own representative.
We want the UEFA Champions League berth, not
Well,
CONCACAF.
I mean,
we'll
if
win
Canada-
the World Cup before.
True. Canada gets a group.
yeah, Canada gets a spot with 4 teams.
The Texas national team also will be challenging for the Hex.
Yeah.
We got Dempsey, so deal with it. And Breck Shea, so have some. All right, moving on to the actual games on the field. We'll start with Friday night. Oh, God. Houston 0, Orlando 1. I was at the game. It was so ugly. The Dynamo couldn't complete 3 passes to save their lives. Tyler Derrick made an incredible save on Kaká, in the first half. And then in the second half, he decided to take a giant touch and then blast his clearance off Pedro Ribeiro and then run backwards and punch the ball into his own net.
Well, to be fair, it looked like he just punched it inadvertently while trying to take down.
Well, that's what we were kind of talking about after the game with the people in the press. Shouldn't he have just grabbed him and taken the red and the penalty?
Oh, no. Because then it's a penalty and a goal, and he's out.
You're a goalkeeper. But it was going. The ball was going in anyway. You could at least miss the. You could miss the penalty, maybe, right?
Yeah, but who does Houston have as a backup?
Joe Willis, the great.
So,
Joe
yes,
Willis.
No, I would not do that. Absolutely not. No.
Joe Willis would come in and stone the penalty.
Honestly, I would let the ball go in the net. I'd let the ball go in the net. I'm not gonna get a red card and NASCO the play, just so that the next week they're even worse off. That doesn't make any sense.
Pedro Ribeiro's a big boy too. Derek was like just riding him into the net. He couldn't bring him down.
He wanted an adult-sized piggyback ride.
He's like Ribeiro's like what 6'5", 220 or something, and just
That's crazy.
Freight trained Derek into the goal with him, and then Derek proceeded to smash him into the bar and into the.
Yeah, I thought he was gonna let go once the ball had already gone to the net. He would just let go, but he kept riding him.
There's a sad image. I think I saw it on Twitter of Derek like laying in the net with the Orlando players on top of him celebrating. It was just sad all around.
Why keep scoring on yourself?
It was so Orlando got their first MLS win, which good for them, I guess. No, it was good for them. They were pretty excited after the game. You could tell they were hugging and jumping around, and the Dynamo. They take one step forward, beating Columbus, and 2 steps back. They tried to start Miranda in more of a 4-5-1. Bruin was on the bench. Then Bruin came in and shanked like 3 chances. # free Kubo. Can't get here fast enough. He scored 2 goals this weekend, of course, to save Chivas.
Coming off the bench, no less.
Yes.
That was hilarious. You'll never save them from a relegation thing, though. He can't be their savior and your savior. He doesn't have it in him. He's too young.
I'm going to go down there and kidnap him and bring him back.
I think that usually happens the other way around, doesn't it?
It's going to be a reverse kidnapping. I'm going to Mexico and bringing him to the States.
Right.
My uncle was a coyote.
See? The Dynamo...
There's a term. I didn't even know. I had no idea.
Giles Barnes is like all by himself. The Dynamo desperately need a number 9. They have one. He just happens to be playing in Mexico, so that's that. But good for Orlando. They got the win.
Well, at what point do we stop saying firsts? The first home win, the first home loss, the first 40.
When we run out of firsts.
First.
Yeah.
When they tell LA,
Come on.
I think that was the first Dynamo loss at BBVA on a Friday night on Spanish television when conceding an own goal.
Yes,
With terrible announcers.
First. All the first. I'm so bored of it.
Sorry.
No, it's not you. It's just MLS, I think, is
Orlando's first win. It was historic. Okay.
First clean sheet, too.
First clean sheet.
Philip, don't
First away win.
Fire, man. What are you doing?
First away win, yeah.
That was intentional, Philip.
First own goal.
First own goal scored for.
that goal by
Kaká?
pretty much an own goal.
Well,
That's a deflection.
Did they count it as one, though?
No.
He called the bank. Bank shot.
It was taken as a shot on goal. It was heading toward goal and then got deflected in. It's still a shot on goal, technically.
No one punched it in the net. Tyler.
It was Orlando's first win without having someone sent off.
See?
Yeah. Woohoo!
Okay, enough about that game.
Or a yellow card for diving.
No yellow cards for diving, yes.
That's true.
They got that out of the way. So moving on to Saturday, speaking of games that were extremely boring, Chicago 0, Vancouver 1. Chicago, it's going to be rough all year for them.
To be fair, they had like 7 or 8 chances that they could have put away and they didn't.
Yeah, if Ameriqua would just stop stepping over and trying to do tricks when he gets the ball at the top of the 18.
Well, he made a couple of good plays when he was running through the center, and then he dished it out wide. Almost identical plays twice to Harry Shipp. And Shipp, the first time, I think he curled it wide.
Watch your mouth.
And then the second time, he curled it right into the goalkeeper's arms. I'm like, what the hell's going on, man?
Yeah, they had chances, but they're just the fire. And
Hey, Ameriquois on my fantasy team. What can you expect?
That's a bad purchase, my friend.
that's a bad purchase for having anyone from Chicago on your team.
Every purchase that I make, no matter who it is a bad purchase.
Yeah.
I really need to get in the business of having players pay me for not having them on my fantasy. I need to make a profit off of this here.
A negative sponsorship.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hey.
I do not endorse you putting me on your team, but I endorse you monetarily.
I got Kaká on my team. I have Robbie Keane as my captain. Boys need to pay up.
See. So Rivero got the goal. You guys, Rivero 15 goals this year.
I could see him doing it. As I was arguing with Austin, because Austin was like, he's just not good enough. Like, this guy, if you watch the games,
He's got 2 in 2 games, right?
5 chances to put away goals. Just stone cold easy chances, and he botched them. So I don't know if he's going to get better, but he's young, right? He's only like 22, 23.
He's 20. He just turned 23.
Okay, so he's going to get better, but his finishing is awful. Just awful. I mean, he's had several where it's like a sitter, and he trips over his own 2 feet as he's about to kick it.
Yeah, that one against Toronto where he fell down.
Kicks it wide more than Deshaun Brown. It's pathetic. But
I could see him doing it. I don't know who else on Vancouver is going to do the scoring if it's not Morales or.
He's going to get service. He's going to get service from Morales and Mane and those guys.
Yeah, he's gonna get most of the chances. So even if he botches half of them, it's gonna be way more than what most players are gonna get in the league. So it's gonna make up for it.
I mean, Dom Dwyer had a bunch of goals last year. He can't finish, even from the spot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Rivero's one of is he's on the. Thank you. He's on the short list for newcomer of the year. There's obviously, and then David Villa is probably going to win it, but he's
Frank Lampard.
Super Frank. The Frank Lampard Newcomer of the Year award, I believe they changed the name to.
Presented by Landon Donovan.
The Newcomer of the Year, presented by Landon Donovan.
And brought to you by Trips to Cambodia. They're totally.
He won MLS Cup after it, didn't he? Back to back, I believe.
Yeah.
So.
Well, yeah, it was actually him lined up against 11 other players.
Maybe you should send Bobby Burling to Cambodia.
Yeah, maybe.
With a one-way ticket.
Yeah, I don't want that.
Cambodia have a league?
I'm sure they do.
Probably.
Do they have pro rel? It's important.
The odds are ever increasing for a hack.
All right, next game, the most exciting rivalry in pro sports, the Trillium Cup. Columbus Crew SC against Toronto FC.
Oh, God.
Things were going swimmingly for our friend Rob. All of a sudden, Justin Morrow decides to leave his feet.
Which was not a foul, by the way. I will.
He didn't even leave.
Does anyone think it was a foul?
No.
No chance.
But it was also in the box. If you watch, I watched this GIF of it today, and it was in the box. So if it's a red card, it's got to be a penalty there too. So I don't know.
If it was a foul, it had to be a red, obviously.
Yeah, exactly. But it's not a foul.
But it wasn't a foul. It was a Canadian referee helping out.
With a history of screwing over Canadian teams.
Here it goes. Rob, just let it out. Michael Bradley's favorite referee. Didn't Bradley call him not good enough last year or something?
Last year, yeah. This year he was a lot more tame. He didn't. I don't know. I don't know if when he restructured his contract to bring in Altidore, if he can't afford a $5,000 fine anymore. But
it's too early in the season for things like that.
Yeah.
He's got more to deal with. But yeah, that So that was that was like in stoppage time of the first half, I think.
Yeah.
So it pretty much turned
But
the whole second half.
I don't understand. Okay, so you blow your whistle, okay? The linesman didn't even have his flag up. This David Gantar character walks over to the linesman. They have their little discussion, and then
He sends off the wrong guy first.
he shows Damian Perkis the red card. Perkis was nowhere near the play. It was a complete guess. I don't understand. If you're guessing, why do you send somebody off? Like, it just
No
it
question.
doesn't make sense.
You swear in a tweet, Rob.
What's that?
I think the viewers want to know if you swore in a tweet.
No, I was
Kept it
honest.
together.
That was the closest I ever came.
God damn it, Rob.
No, if I'm gonna go, I'm gonna drop F-bomb after F-bomb. I'm starting at the top if I'm gonna go for it.
What's the last day of the season?
October or something.
Doesn't make it in the playoffs. I'm looking for that tweet, Rob.
Oh man, well I've already promised it, so.
And then to make Rob even more angry, Justin Miram scores, and then Kai Kamara scores, and like has 14 different props and celebrates, and doesn't even get carded. See,
I don't get it. I really don't get it.
Kai Kamara pulls out hard hats and
Because it's the MLS hype machine, man. Come on, you know that.
Hard hats and selfies. I'm surprised he didn't have a selfie stick too. Like,
That would be cool if we did.
unbelievable.
oh,
Yeah, that was a disaster. But in all seriousness, just based on the pace of the play and how much Columbus was just dominating, even if there were 11 men on that field, TFC wasn't going to come away with full points. They looked sloppy. They had no motivation. It was like it was as if they hadn't even trained since Vancouver last
It was
year.
as if they were playing for a flower.
Almost.
well, now they have a week off to prepare.
Is there another team for the Trillium Cup, or is it just you two?
No, just
It's
Columbus
just,
and Toronto.
No, it's too bad you didn't suck somebody else into that.
But is it even a rivalry? Like,
No.
before Montreal came into the league, like,
What do you
it's not
think?
a rivalry. It's a geographic rivalry.
It's not even.
before
It's barely.
Montreal.
It's barely geographic.
What are they, 800 miles away?
Yeah, like you got to go around the Great Lakes and pass some. I mean, it's like.
Go through
Okay.
customs.
Yeah,
It wasn't.
you have to
Here,
go through customs. Is it really a rivalry?
take this in though. One of the first times that TFC traveling support even went to Columbus, there was scraps. Somebody got tasered. So I think at that point it becomes a rivalry.
There's the
Canadians.
definition. That is
That's
the
it.
criterion for a rivalry.
Maybe
You get tased.
Once someone gets tased, it's over.
As soon as the tasers come out, that's when it's a rivalry.
Don't
That-
tase me, bro.
The taser derby.
that
Taser derby.
that might apply in 1970s England, but I don't think now.
If some crew fans don't get tased at BMO, then you guys are doing things wrong.
No, but honestly, I don't even think it's a rivalry. It's nothing.
Well, you guys are fighting over a flower. What's the antithesis of a rivalry? A peace?
Listen, Canadians are so dangerous and crazy. They just come across our border, causing problems.
Just a bunch of marauding soccer hooligans.
No. You guys take it. It's cool. You take
A
it.
bunch of hooligans.
We're
You know,
good.
I tried to think over the weekend what the European equivalent of the Trillium Cup was. Like Aston Villa and Swansea. You know,
Yeah.
Manchester City versus Burnley.
Oh.
The great. That is a great derby. Burnley brings it.
It's the
Yeah, did
one
you see
game a
that-
year that they should.
George Boyd and his beautiful hair step
Did you
up.
guys see that the manager of Burnley, when the guy in the press conference mentioned a title race? He mentioned Burnley in the title race, and he was like, "Hey, I didn't say that. That was beautiful. I love you." Google that.
Oh,
So
Burnley.
I'm reading on Wikipedia about the Trillium Cup, and it says the rivalries draw on the team similarities. 2 teams are geographically near the Great Lakes that border the United States and Canada, and both teams also play in a soccer-specific stadium.
Oh, well.
Okay.
That
So
makes it.
Media.
So by the Great Lakes theory, we got what 8 teams involved in this.
No, but they play in soccer-specific stadiums. That's important.
Okay, so kick out NYCFC and New England.
Why are you an ever-enlarging circle, Phil? What happened to me?
It's because we share the same flower. Okay,
It's just him kissing the MLS Cup. He's trolling all of us.
It's from happier times. We didn't get screwed over by referees.
Speaking of, Sporting Kansas City 3, or Sporting Kansas City 1, FC Dallas 3. Well, the game was all going swimmingly until 1-1. Sporting equalized with the great Roger Espinoza, he of FA Cup and U.S. Open Cup glory. And then half of the FC Dallas team was offside as they take the lead.
Bill, you're a commentator too. I don't know if you guys what commentators you guys heard, but it was just terrible. He's like, are they offsides? Oh man, they are offside. Oh, look at that. I'm like, shut up.
I hate offsides. It wasn't even like it's bad when you like miss it. You know, the guy's off by a little, or he makes a run and just it's off by a step, or one guy's off, but like 6 guys are off.
Yeah, I'd have to look at the quote.
And the lineman's in a pretty good position to make the call.
Yeah, he's pretty much right there on the line.
Like, it's a close call, but you can make a case. But it's I'm like, what? No,
I like that. I heard someone say
offside. Every single player. It wasn't even close.
I heard someone say, "Well, Perez was on."
No,
no,
he wasn't.
He was the furthest off, I think.
Oh
Lord.
And then to make matters worse, Dom Dwyer stepped up to the spot with his wife in attendance. And
which, by the way, if you follow her on Twitter, is beautiful.
Yes.
Yeah.
She trolls him nicely.
And just trolls him hardcore. It's so good.
She trolls him better than like any Sporting Kansas City fan, probably.
Beautiful. Really
yeah.
beautiful.
The only entertainment I can have.
So, you guys are now bottom of the West.
Yep. But to be fair, Dallas is a great team. They're going to win the cup.
Great?
No.
Great?
Well,
excuses come out.
Listen, to be fair, Orlando's a great team. To be fair, we got beat at home by a great
team. You guys, San Jose is a great team.
Whoa.
For being honest here.
You're not comparing Dallas to San Jose right now, are you? Because that's...
If being honest, San Jose Orlando's probably my cup final.
I will say Dallas is the only team with 6 points. Technically, they are the best team in the league.
They are top my power rankings.
There. I mentioned to the guys before we went on air, in my review piece, I have maybe 1,000 words, and I haven't even talked about the game yet. It's just been trashing the officials, and not just the officials in this game. I mean, as a league, I'm probably gonna tailor it and take off some of it. But the one thing I do have in there is, if this is any other league, everybody would be saying that they would be joking, the guy is fixed, the guy he got paid by such and such team. MLS, it's generally universally accepted that it's just sheer incompetence.
Yeah, pretty much. Speaking of incompetence, RSL 3, Philadelphia 3.
Yes, I love that segue.
So, Morales with a nice free kick, which I'm stunned is not up for goal of the week, and that's for a whole nother time. But whatever. The DP, there's 4 DPs up for it. So, and then my main guy Aristeguieta with his brace Love
I'm
that guy.
so impressed that you said that correctly.
Thank you. I'm part Is he Venezuelan?
Yeah.
I'm not, but. And then, so
Wow.
it's 3-2 Union, late on. We're going to get a shock result of the season until Seattle happened. And then Luke Mulholland kind of falls down and gets a penalty.
Well, he looked like he was trying to salvage it by sliding. He went intentionally slid.
Yeah, it's like when a lot of players go to ground intentionally to dive. He was going to ground to kind of slide and maybe pass the ball off.
Yeah, they don't typically go down feet first forward.
The guy tackled him and he fell feet first.
Oh man, I got clipped. That's why I slid feet first toward the ball.
It was so bad that Mulholland, even after the game, said it wasn't a penalty, which you hardly ever see.
It's a kind of avant-garde diving that has never been seen before.
Of course, he didn't pull a closa and tell the ref, "No thanks, not a penalty." They stepped up, got the penalty, equalized, but what Phil said, it's just another notch in Pro's belt of awful decisions.
Yeah.
Not much can be said. Philadelphia, that would have been a humongous win for them. Would have given them 4 points in
Especially
Easter.
Going out west.
Yeah, especially the Eastern Conference where.
Not to mention the joy that I would have been filled with.
Yeah.
Yeah. It would have been big for them. The East, like we've all thought, is pretty open this year.
I mean, that would have put on top of the East.
Yeah, no one really is giving them a chance. That would have been their chance for.
Well, I think that's for good reason. Let's be honest.
Aristeguieta is coming for the Golden Boot.
Oh, really?
Have some of it. Just
He's the truth, huh?
He's the Venezuelan Messi.
Oh man.
I've already tagged him.
He's a little bit taller, but
He's the Venezuelan Ricky Lambert.
Yeah.
So we have his nationality down, right? He's Venezuelan then?
I'm pretty
we're just
sure.
going on here. We have no idea.
I'm pretty sure because Alejandro Moreno was talking about him, and he knows him.
they're buds.
They're bestest friends.
Who doesn't Alejandro Moreno know?
He's pretty. Aristeguieta. He's born in Caracas, Venezuela. Thank you.
Yeah.
He's on loan from FC Nantes in Liga 1.
Which is where Bedoya plays.
Correct.
Which may be the biggest MLS troll out there.
Bedoya does love to fire on MLS. Him and Hercules Gomez are.
Yeah.
Gomez only does it when somebody ats him with it, but
Yeah. Bedoya will just.
2 o'clock in the morning. Hey guys, look at MLS.
Hey, look at these idiots! Free agency, and when they're like 41.
I don't know how I managed to get blocked by Hercules Gomez. I was trying to see these tweets, and I go to his profile, and it says you've been blocked by Hercules.
When they beat you guys in the Champions League, he was just trolling Toronto fans, Seattle fans. He was just taking everybody, just blazing everyone down.
That must be it. He saw that I'm a TFC fan.
I talked to him after they played in Houston, and they beat when he was on Santos Laguna still, and everyone was complaining about MLS having the Dynamo played Saturday, then they had to play midweek, and then they played Saturday, and Gomez was basically saying that great teams play 3 times a week. That's what all the great teams in Europe do, blah, blah, blah. Basically saying MLS can't handle this.
Just roasting people.
And then they thumped the Dynamo 3-0, so that was fun. Anyway, referees are garbage. Moving on. Except our friend Corey. We like him.
No, probably especially him.
He's good people.
No, he's a good dude. I just don't trust him. As a ref.
He's a ref. You don't trust him.
Referee career, I just don't,
That's Tyler, if you want to tweet at him.
At ProtectYourNet.
There you go. All right, final game of Saturday. Seattle 2.
That was it, wasn't it? I'm pretty sure.
Was that all for Saturday?
No,
Yeah,
there was
more
dumpster
games?
fire. There was still a dumpster fire.
I'm scrolling through here, just looking at the score. Oh, CenturyLink Field. Seattle 2, San Jose, wait, 3. San Jose got 3? And 1 in Seattle. Wow. Dempsey scored in like 5 seconds.
18.
And yet still, Wando, without Thibaut Courtois to scare him, lethal in front of net.
Before this moves on to Seattle further, I wanted to give the Total USL gent a shout out, just to say, hey, how's it going? We love your work.
Thanks. Hello, everyone at Total USL. We love you.
Yeah, just throwing that out there.
Thank you.
Continue on with the Seattle bashing. I need to.
Can we get back to trolling Seattle?
Yeah, sorry.
Please, thank you. So, Wando busts out World Cup Wando.
Those were 2 really amazing finishes.
I mean, pretty much clinical. I thought I was looking at Wayne Rooney from the finishing. And then you get help when Bernardes just decides to just kick someone right in the leg.
Oh.
Even though the San Jose fans on Twitter are calling it the worst call ever, which was probably my favorite. And then they saw the replay, was like, oh yeah, that's kind of bad. He kicked him right in the leg. So they go down to 10 men. Here comes your chance. And then the innocent one chops up like the entire Seattle defense, curls one past Fry. Boom, 3-1. 10-man San Jose got Kinneared. Mark, what happened?
I don't know.
Just leave it at that.
I forgot, kind of all day Saturday I forgot that there was a game, and I was like, oh, it's because we're playing San Jose.
Oh.
And I'm pretty sure that's what the Sounders did. They just forgot that they were playing. So, there's no excuse. They just completely wet the bed.
Well, like we said, San Jose is a cup contender. So, I mean, it's no shame to lose to them.
And I'm not, this is an absolute aside, this doesn't affect the result at all, because if you watch the game you would know this, but Toledo was awful. Like, awful.
Toledo gonna Toledo. Toledo gonna Toledo. It's just what he does.
He's my favorite ref in the whole league.
The best part about all of it was when the pro announced the referees, his name was in all caps.
You gotta know. You gotta be warned when Toledo comes to town, because
That's usually how his name appears on Twitter in most leagues.
Their phone auto-corrected it.
He announces himself with authority. He's just like, what? He's like, Toledo coming all up in here. Have some, Seattle. He doesn't take sides though. Toledo's pretty like one of those refs that he's just gonna be garbage the whole game for everyone.
Unless your name is Daniel Henry. Then he's giving out red cards. He's giving out penalties.
I don't want to have Mark cry on the show, so
I'm just
gonna try to move on.
Every league needs a Joey Crawford, and we have Toledo.
We have Toledo. Speaking of awesome referees, Geiger show was on display at Yankee Stadium.
It's his big break.
Because I even tweeted from the Total MLS account, like people were talking about the field, and then Villa scored, and I was like, you guys just think Geiger show's gonna let this go off? He's sending someone off in this game, and then boom, Gonsalves out of here. Geiger show, full effect. Geiger don't play. I don't know if you guys know, but he repped in a World Cup. No, it's often not talked about.
It's a little known fact.
Little known fact about Mark Geiger, World Cup veteran.
Let's not throw words around like veteran.
So everyone was trolling New York on Twitter about the baseball field and their 8-a-side field size. But
only 5 yards thinner or narrower than Portland's, by the way.
Yeah. And isn't Houston pretty close to?
Yeah, I thought
they were pretty skinny.
We were like 72, but we moved it since Dom left.
Okay.
Owen
But-
Coyle.
you actually like to use width now.
Yeah, because I know Sporting had boatloads of trouble.
That's why we won like 32, or we had like 32 consecutive unbeaten at home because we had the field like ridiculously small. But I think everyone's trolling New York, but I have to admit they're pretty fun to watch.
Mm-hmm.
Villa is gonna be hell all year.
That's because he doesn't have a position. He just floats.
He just gets the ball or he just runs around. He goes to the pitcher's mound. He goes out to shortstop. He's like, sorry, that was a baseball joke. It's unacceptable. You guys had a beautiful crowd.
I've seen that
Can
100
we
times.
talk about those camera angles?
The camera angles were a little different.
How that you couldn't watch the game if you suffer from vertigo.
There was a tall guy. They just gave him a camera like on the third baseline.
Yeah, like whenever FIFA gives me
this.
an angle, I just turn it off. It's start
Yes.
over. That's
Yeah, you know, in FIFA when you get that crap stadium and or the one with the big walls behind the goal when it has like the giant. You're like playing from a helicopter. Damn you, FIFA.
It's a video game. How can we not get these things right?
true to life, Mark.
God, it's ridiculous. Anyway, yeah, New York looked good. I mean, I think the whole kissing of the badge by Mullins was a little.
There's some bad blood that we don't know about.
There's something went on there. Yeah, and then he tweeted or Instagrammed something about the New York City badge tastes good. Like, oh yeah, you were eating it, sure. Yeah, because everyone that puts the badge in their mouth is eating it. No one knows what that symbolizes. It's like when Sidney LaRue kissed the U.S. badge in Canada. Rob.
Yep. It's definitely a banter episode.
That was just to fire Rob up. Sorry.
Well, on that note, take it easy, guys.
And Rob's gone. But New England is obviously they're in some trouble without Jones. Wynn came back, but I mean, does Jermaine Jones mean that much to them?
No.
Well, Wynn's not 100%, so.
Yeah. Plus, they were playing in that bandbox, and I think they were neutralized by that short field. You know, they're wide guys like Rowe and Wynn likes to get wide even sometimes.
Hey, who plays left back for them?
Tierney plays wide on the left.
Yeah, okay. He had some pretty stellar crosses, though. I mean,
Yeah. He's like a young Brad Davis. Basically. He's Brad Davis 2.0.
Yeah, okay. So he had some good crosses, but his accuracy is not so great.
David Beckham was the right-footed Brad Davis, as we used to call him.
I don't know who the we is.
Crickets. So, is New York a legit contender in the East? Is anyone ready to put that on them?
No.
Nope.
I mean, we handled New England, and look at what happened to us. So.
I have a feeling, honestly, that the Rapids, will beat New York this next week.
They come to the fortress known as DSG.
Yeah, that's
David,
what I was
you guys gonna get lost in that giant airport of yours.
No, what? It's not even that close to the airport.
They're gonna be thrown off by the Arsenal badge behind the goal.
Yeah, exactly.
They're Man City.
It's intimidating, that Arsenal badge.
Like, wait a minute, is this the Premier League? I hope the Rapids don't get thrown off.
Good God, that's Arsenal music.
Good God Almighty! That's Dennis Bergkamp's music.
That man has a family.
I do think we'll beat them, though, for real. I think that's a real thing.
Is Colorado going to wear Arsenal jerseys, like, to try to throw them off? Man City,
We might
Arsenal.
wear the yellow. Who knows?
It'll be a good time to break out the yellow.
Yep.
Make them wear their black, suffer in the awful Denver heat.
It is supposed to be warm. And
Mid-March.
and the altitude, because apparently that's a real thing, altitude sickness. So
Listen, if you live below sea level like I do, you go anywhere where there's like hills, it's a real thing. It's like, oh god, that is one steep little hill. Wow. You go to West Texas, like you start getting towards Kevin's part, San Antonio, out there where there's like
The hill country.
hill country. It's like, damn, this is no joke.
so I think it'll be a 2-1, maybe a 3-2 beating, but yeah.
So no one's buying into New York just yet.
No, I think they're just too new. Haven't had
They
the
played 2 games.
I saw a New York writer saying that they were going to be an elite MLS franchise. So
Well, they have the money for it, so
they got that going for them.
They should sign Joe Flacco.
Joe Flacco is elite.
Elite.
I don't reference, but cool.
You're not an American football fan. It's okay.
No.
All right, final game of the weekend. We'll wrap this thing up. Portland 2, LA 2. The action seems to always start with these teams about the 85th minute.
And
So-
with Portland giving up a late goal. Yeah.
Yeah, 90th minute. Darlington Nagbe, the greatest footballer known to man, gets the ball, beats everyone to it, finds Adi. Portland takes the lead. Surely they win the
Audie,
game.
that's what you'd call that play? Finding Audie?
Well, he kind of kicked it in Adi's direction.
Where he was like, oh shit, I'm just going to put it across goal.
Listen,
And
Darlington Nagbe looked up, picked him out, finessed the pass over there. Mark knows.
deflected like 4
Yeah.
times on the way through. I don't know. That could be hyperbole, but I swear, 4 deflections.
Caleb Porter drew it up that way. That's
Mark
exactly
knows the,
how it
Mark
went.
knows the beauty of.
Great tactician.
Really, if it was
But without
deflected, why does it say Fernando Adi, assisted by Darlington Nagbe, Liam Ridgewell?
Because they don't follow your stupid MLS fantasy rules, where if it gets deflected, it counts as an assist.
Anyway, the greatness of Nagbe. Puts it on a plate for Adi. Give Portland all 3 points.
Flatter for Adi to put away.
Timber Joey is still cutting the log as Alan Gordon heads in the equalizer, which was maybe the best part. I really wanted Gordon to like run over to Timber Joey and like finish the log for him. His celebration, that would have been pretty amazing, but he was
It would
probably
be great if he would have stolen the wood cookie. Taken it out of his hands. Yes.
that would have been awesome
for
if he
me?
just grabbed one and just ran downfield with it. But Alan Gordon just doing Alan Gordon things, finding the equalizer.
Alan Gordon, the most likely to become Stone Cold Steve Austin.
That really was a worthy MLS title belt match.
It was.
I feel like he's more like the Macho Man Randy Savage, if we're being real.
It was. The title was. Portland had the champions pinned,
Yeah.
and then Alan Gordon's music hit. Came in with the flying headbutt off the top rope.
with the metal chair.
Just threw threw Portland off the top of the cage.
God, I hate those looping headers, man.
Good God, they killed him!
Timber Joey has a family!
God, Jerry! Timber Joey has a family! But now it sets up beautifully, Philip, for the Dynamo to go into Carson and steal the MLS title belt.
Yeah, I know.
We're bringing.
I was so looking forward to Sporting versus Portland for the belt.
We're coming for the.
And then if Sporting had won, I would be up in New York for NYCFC and Sporting for the belt. No.
If you guys don't know what we're talking about, go follow MLS Title Belt on Twitter. It's pretty exciting.
I thought it was referencing actually the bunker that fills in for some reason. Where the hell are you?
This is in my.
I don't know. I just see him kissing the
I
cup.
can't see you, Philip.
No one can see you.
It's in the crap part of Pennsylvania.
There you go. The crap part of Pennsylvania.
So Pennsylvania.
Well, that's
I
all.
wasn't going to say that because I
That's
live.
all you needed to know.
Sure.
One time I went to Pennsylvania accidentally. I'll tell that story on another show. And a separate time I almost got stuck in Philadelphia again for another show. So, I think about wrap things up for tonight.
All right.
We'll start with some final thoughts. Kevin, do you have anything you'd like to end the show with?
I'm enjoying this. You know. Hey.
It always is. The banter is flying high.
Yes.
He's a newly Rapids guy.
I will support the Rapids in
Yes.
I'm so sorry.
my MLS team.
Hey, Mark.
I have to.
You
My
had
dad-
a choice in this matter.
Even
My
though you
dad-
could literally drive to BBVA Copa Stadium. I see how it is.
No. Because I have the San Antonio Scorpions, I cannot have another team in Texas.
Fair.
Cut me
He's
deep.
family. He's
I have
family.
family in
Look at-
Denver. I have family
Look
in
at me
Denver.
with the Scorpion shirt. Look at me with the Scorpion scarf. Look at me. Well, I thought we were cool.
No, we're bros. We got it. We're good.
You guys have that little ditch that goes through your town, and now all of a sudden you're.
Oh, now you're hating on me. Okay.
That's Riverwalk smack. For those
Yeah,
of you not from
you're-
Texas.
Yeah, you can hush now.
I love that Rob is just happy that the attention is diverted to
Yes.
something. Like,
Rob,
oh,
do you have any?
Rob,
anything you'd
Rob
like?
and I had terrible weekends. Okay.
I'm
Rob,
just laughing
anything you'd
at
like to add? Anything you'd like to add, Rob? Canada's making the Hex this
Yeah,
year.
right. Canada's making the Hex, TFC's making the playoffs, and Sidney Leroux will somehow circumvent all rules and put it up for Canada in redemption for that kissing of the U.S. crest at
Sydney,
BMO.
what if Sidney Leroux and Dom Dwyer's son/daughter plays for
Why not?
Canada?
Why don't you just hope for the male Sidney Leroux, Tesho Akindele, to come and
Yes,
God.
Tesho. He's undecided. He's
Yeah.
still coming to you eventually.
Along with everyone else who's ever been eligible to play for Canada.
You have to be a part of Unattached FC to play for Canada.
Yeah.
Everyone knows that.
Of course.
Philip, in the crap part of Pennsylvania, do you have anything you'd like to finish with?
Wait, is that for real? You're in Pennsylvania?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought you were still in Kansas City. Yes.
No, I was there for a while, then moved back
Wait.
home.
Then you see he stole the MLS Cup and they
Yeah.
cast him out.
And now he's wanted, which is why he's not
I-
showing his location.
I,
Makes sense.
I had to take a souvenir with me, so that's what I
Yes, it's understood.
brought. My baby. If I'm really looking forward to the game against Portland. Red cards and bad calls aside, I hope it's a good game.
Beasler will be back.
Yeah, but I am looking forward to, in a couple of weeks, I'm going up to New York for the NYCFC game, so check that out firsthand.
Cool. Mark, any more banter you'd like to fire off?
We're playing a Mexico team next.
I forgot. You guys are just busting out mid-season friendlies in March.
Which is a perfect time to have a friendly, if I may.
Yeah. Why not? Just
It's better than in the middle of July.
yeah, stupid friendlies. Seattle really did invent March friendlies, though.
Well, it's
Yeah,
pretty smart to keep him informed, if I'm being honest. I mean,
In the beginning of the season, yeah.
keep
It's
him-
prepping them. It's prepping them for the Champions League, right? Isn't that was the?
That's the kind of
the yeah.
yeah.
Well. Tyler, other than your calling your shot,
Nope, just look for a 2-1 victory for the Rapids, and look for me on the goalpost of the north end, on the right goalpost.
if you watch the Friday night game, you'll see Tyler in the pregame. He's like kind of a big deal. They show him on the.
No,
Were
they
you-
always do come by. That's
Were you on this week's Friday? I was at the Dynamo game. You know how they had that little pre-package, and you were on there for the first game of the
that's
season.
right. That's right for the Univision, right?
Yeah, Univision. You're huge with the Mexican TV stations.
Yeah, I'm big in Latino country.
Quote: "I'm big in Latino country."
whoa. I feel like that's weird.
All right, so I'm gonna just finish it with thank you to my awesome headset. It was a blast to wear this.
Your headset.
It was awesome.
Yeah, just
Um,
hand me your address and I'll get it.
I will. And thanks for everyone that watched, and thanks for everyone that's listening. We'll talk to you guys next week.